Today I will be making cream puffs for you. You can follow along as I've attached this recipe to the Google Classroom post, or you can just watch this and then answer the questions as well. I'm starting with a half a cup of water and a half a cup of milk. Eight tablespoons of unsalted butter, so that's going to be a whole stick. My butter has been sitting out a little bit already, so it is a little soft. I'm gonna go ahead and add a teaspoon of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna heat it until it is just boiling over about medium heat, and then I'm going to remove it from my heat and add in 1 cup of flour all at once. I already have my oven preheating to 425 degrees as I am making this. Okay, I'm getting close here to a boil, maybe just a few, maybe 30 seconds longer here and I should be boiling. Okay, so I can see that it's just boiling now, so I am going to remove it from my heat. Okay, so I've removed it from my heat here, and now I'm just going to add 1 cup of flour. And I'm just gonna stir it until it's incorporated. Okay, I'm gonna move this back onto my heat. Okay, so this is back on medium heat here. And I am just going to continue to stir this. It's okay if a small film kind of starts to form on the bottom, but I'm gonna stir it for 1 to 2 minutes over my medium heat. My dough should get smooth here, and it should form a ball as well. Okay, so I've been stirring this for about 2 minutes now, and I can see that I've kind of got a smooth ball. There is a little bit of a film that's formed on the bottom of my pan, but this is about what it should look like. And then I am going to move you over to my mixer because that's where we're gonna work with this dough next. Okay, now I've moved you over to my KitchenAid mixer. If you don't have a mixer at home and you want to do this, an electric handheld mixer would work just as fine too. But I put my dough into the bottom of my mixer here, and now I'm just going to attach my beater here, and I'm just going to mix at medium speed for about 1 minute to cool this mixture. So I just finished beating that for 1 minute, and now I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add my eggs, and I'm going to do 1 egg at a time. I have 4 eggs, and they've been sitting out for a while, so they are at room temperature. Okay, so I'm just adding my egg here. I first cracked it into a different container. This is just a measuring cup that I use. I'm going to incorporate this egg using my mixer. Okay, my 1 egg is mixed in here, so I'm going to go ahead and add another egg. After my last addition here of my 4th egg, I am going to beat for about another minute. And then my mixture here, which is my dough, and this type of dough is called a puff paste. I will be mixing this puff paste dough until it forms a thick ribbon when I pull up my beater here. So I have a piping bag here. I just have a reusable piping bag. And I have different attachments, and I'm just going to show you what I do for attachments on my piping bag. Now this step is optional. You definitely don't have to do this. You could just spoon your batter onto your baking sheet. I am going to add this piece inside my bag here, like so, and then I have this round tip that's going to go on the outside and go around. I don't want to add that until I add my metal tip onto the tip of my bag, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to go over the top and twist that on. Then my piping bag is ready to fill, and I'm going to put my puff paste dough inside this bag. Okay, so I filled my pastry bag and now I'm just going to squeeze this down to the end here. And I just have a nice round tip on my pastry bag. And I am gonna go ahead and put these on my baking sheet. Okay, now that I have these all on my pan, I've got about 12 on this pan here. I am going to bake them, and I already have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. I will bake them for 10 minutes, and then without opening my oven, I will reduce the temperature to 325 degrees. When I do this, I really need to make sure that I never open the oven door, as during this time my cream puffs will not be set. And if I open the oven door, the steam will condense and cause these to collapse. So at this point, I am just reducing my oven temperature to prevent over browning and to really make sure that the inside is set before my outside browns. The failure of cream puffs usually come from a result of under baking, so I really need to make sure that I bake these long enough, so 10 minutes, then reducing my oven temperature to 325 and baking another 20 to 22 minutes. And I really don't want to open my oven door until the very end of that baking time. Now I am going to be starting my homemade whipped cream. So I am again going to use my KitchenAid mixer. I would suggest using some kind of electric mixer, even if it is a handheld mixer for this, because you are going to be beating for a longer period of time here. I am going to add my ingredients into my mixer bowl. I'm going to start with 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. I just bought a pint container, and I know that there are 2 cups in a pint, so I don't need to measure this at all. I can just add my whole container. Okay, and then I need 4 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1, 2, 3, 4 tablespoons there, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla as well. So that is all of my ingredients. Now I'm just going to use my whisk attachment, and I am going to turn my mixer on to a medium speed here, or medium high, and I'm just going to beat until it's pretty fluffy, and when I lift it up, I get some stiff peaks. So I'll go ahead and mix it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done here. When I put this beater in and I pull it up, I have some very stiff peaks. They're not moving anywhere, they're just standing straight up. So that's what I want. That's how I know that my whipping cream is done. And then I can go ahead and I can put this in a piping bag and then pipe it into my cream puffs, or I could just simply use a spoon and add it that way. Okay, so now my cream puff is done baking. So this is what it's going to look like when it comes out of the oven and it has cooled. I'm going to take just a serrated bread knife and just slice this right in half. And what it should look like is it should be kind of a hollow shell, and you should have some crisp walls to your puff pastry here. I am then just going to take a spoon, because it's a lot easier than using a piping bag, and I'm going to spoon my whipping cream right into my base of my puff pastry, and then I'm going to top it, and there I have my finished cream puff.